I would now like to welcome the Director General of IFCCI, Mrs. Payal S. Kanwar, to share the election results with everyone.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. While the slide arrives, I would just like to inform you that each year IFCCI conducts the elections of its governing council as per the number of vacant seats, which is about 1/3 of the total number of members who retire by rotation. This year we had 10 vacant seats and 15 nomination. As a result of the online ballot count on the election buddy platform, which was conducted virtually this year, we wish to inform you that the following candidates have been elected as members of the Governing Council for the year 2021 for a term of 3 years. In alphabetical order, Mr. Alexis Telemaque, Chairman and Managing Director, Total Oil India. Mr. Émeric Derenies, Senior Country Officer, Crédit Agricole CIB. Mr. Benoit Lecuyer, Chief Executive Officer, Prismian India. Mr. Emmanuel de Roquefeuille, VP and Country Director, Thales India. Mr. Joël Verani, Vice President, Sales and Network, Citroën India. Mr. Mathieu Jouvillard, Chief Representative, Crédit Industriel et Commercial. Mr. Mohan Kumar, Executive Vice President, Michelin India. Ms. Payal Singh, Country Director, AGS Four Winds India. Mr. Rohit Markan, Managing Director, Rocket India. And finally, Mr. Thierry Laurent, Chief Financial Officer of L'Oréal India. Congratulations to you all. We look forward to working with you. On this note, if we could just move to the next slide. I would also like to take a moment to thank two very important senior members of the Governing Council, Mr. Dara Mehta, who is Partner Emeritus of Little & Company, and CS Pramod Shah of Pramod Shah and Associates. Dear Mr. Mehta, words would not be enough to thank you for all the support and guidance you have offered the Chamber over the past 30 years as member of the Governing Council, as well as a member of the Chamber. We really appreciate your support. Dear Mr. Shah, thank you very much for all the support and guidance that you had offered to the Chamber over the past 6 years as member of the Governing Council. We would like to thank you and your team of Pramod S. Shah and Associates for helping the IFCCI Secretariat for finalizing notices and documents in the past on an honorary basis. We thank you very much for your time and support. And lastly, we are very happy to propose to the both of you to be a part of IFCCI as permanent special invitees in the Governing Council. Thank you very much, and back to you, Priyank.
On the activities of IFCCI, along with an overview of the Chamber.
Thank you very much, Priyank. I hope I'm audible. So firstly, I would just like to inform all of our viewers that you can expand your screen by clicking on the bottom right, in which way you will have the screen in full mode. Thank you very much. I would now like to present our activities for the last financial year. So as you may know, we are a part of a global network under the umbrella of the CCI France International. Today, the CCI France International represents a large network of French chambers abroad, 126 chambers in 95 countries, and close to 40,000 member companies. In terms of our presence in India, we've had 4 offices up until last year. So Delhi, Mumbai, and in the south, Chennai and Bangalore. And we are very pleased to inform you that as of last November, we inaugurated a new office in Pune. And for this, I would like to welcome our Vice President, Mr. Ravin Mirchandani, who is the Executive Chairman of Adore Powertrain, to kindly present our activities in Pune on the next slide. Ravin, if you can hear me, you'll have to put on your video and your mic.
Okay, can you hear me now? I've got both on.
Yes, perfect.
Yes, okay. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the AGM of the Indo-French Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The activities in Pune for the Chamber started, in fact, in 2017 when we appointed a representative office, and the ambassador at that time also came down to launch us in Pune. We officially launched the chapter in Pune as a sub-chapter for West India in November 2019, and since then have actually been quite active. We have 41 members now in Pune already, and we've had 4 advocacy events in that short amount of time, even through the Corona period. First, we had the Consul General from Bombay, Ms. Sonia Babri, who came for a breakfast with CEOs. We followed that up immediately as we went into Corona with some advocacy events with the Commissioner of Police for Pune, advising CEOs on how to manage the lockdown. We then had an event with the Labour Secretary and also an event with the Minister of Industries for Maharashtra. Today, we are quite active in Pune already, thanks to the activities of Abhishek, who's been appointed to look after IFCCI in Pune, as well as the guidance of Bruno. We really love the chamber in Pune. We have two big events coming up on the 9th of October, a discussion with the Principal Secretary for the state of Maharashtra, followed by a grand summit on smart cities either in late October or early November. So we're looking forward to being an active part of the Chamber's activities in India. Thank you very much, and back to you, Payal.
Thank you very much, Ravin. So moving on, I would like to show you our executive committee members. We have a great representation in India. So, of course, with our president, Sumit Anand, and myself, we have vice presidents in all of our regions. So Eliza Ketty in Bangalore, Joel Verani, who you saw a short while ago in Chennai, Emmanuel de Roquefeuille in Delhi, Emeric Deranies in Mumbai, and of course, Ravin, we just saw in Pune. And the most important, I would say, our treasurer, Francisca, based out of Mumbai as well. Our team today is about 30 people, pan-India across our 5 offices. So here's a quick glimpse of the team. And of course, they are broken up into various departments such as business support services, communications, events and membership, HR and recruitment services. So we have a great team now, and it's growing year on year. Thanks to all of our members, supporters, and various partners, we are very pleased that we've been able to win 2 international awards 2 years in a row by the CCI France International. We were awarded as the best performing chamber in 2018, and we also won an award for the best contribution for several advocacy initiatives last year. So these were both received during the annual directors seminar of all French chambers in the world in the month of June. In terms of our membership, as of today, we stand at about 640 members. So we have a great breakup of French companies, Indian companies, and in the past year, we had about 140 new members that joined us in the financial year. Membership and annual sponsorship is very important for the chamber. It accounts for about 1/3 of our revenue. So, the team has been working very hard this year to be in touch with our members and to handhold them through this time, and of course, to understand their challenges. I'd also like to, give a shout out and thank all of our annual sponsors. These are companies that support the chamber on an annual basis. And of course, they receive a year-long visibility and a number of other benefits. So thank you so much to all of our annual sponsors that have been sponsoring us for so many years in a row. In terms of our events and networking, I think, Sumit had mentioned earlier that the number of events has grown phenomenally over the past 5 years. And today we're organizing a little more than 100 events a year. Of course, in a pre-COVID context, we were very active in terms of seminars, workshops, conferences, social networking evenings. I mean, so many events we've organized, but the current context has not stopped us. We've been organizing all of our events in a virtual format. And since the end of March, we've done about 60 webinars. And most of them are related to, COVID-19 and helping our companies and understanding, the current landscape. Flagship events, so our gala dinners are very important to the chamber. Last year, we organized 2 dinners in Mumbai and Bangalore, and these are, grand soirees with a very specific theme, where we bring in our members and special guests, and of course, senior government officials, and just for a, grand evening to celebrate, our chamber and of course, a moment for all of us to come together. And I'm secretly hoping that we can organize something on the same lines in 2021. We also organized the second edition of the Indo-French Business Awards and the Grand Prix Veilleux in partnership with Business France last year at the Embassy of France, and I'd like to thank His Excellency for all of his support. This is a much sought after event and awards night because it really celebrates the success of French and Indian companies. This year we plan to organize it as well, although perhaps in a smaller format and live streamed digitally. But yes, we usually have about 9 award categories, 3 VIE awards, and last year we had about 100 nominations, which is quite impressive. We also organized our Indo-French Investment Conclave last year in Goa. This was following the huge success of what we had done in 2018 in Nagpur. So the idea behind an investment conclave is to organize a large-scale French delegation, Indo-French delegation, I would say, to a specific city or a region to understand the investment opportunities. So last year we had chosen Goa because we have seen that there have been some French investments, and of course it's untapped territory, and it's also helping us understand, what the possibilities are in other geographies as compared to where French companies are traditionally invested in India. So this was a big success. We had the Chief Minister, we had the Minister of State for Defense, of course we had His Excellency with us, and the Consul General of France in Mumbai, Sonia Barbary. So it was a successful event. And this year, we are really looking forward to organizing something on similar lines in the state of Tamil Nadu in December. And once again, it will be in a virtual format. One of the most important platforms that IFCCI has today is its committees. So we run 16 functional and sector committees. And these are really strong platforms to help our members engage with one another. Last year, we organized about 60 events, and these committees bring together 700 member contacts. And we are very, thankful to all of the top leadership of our member companies for investing their time and energy in making these committees a success. You can see some of the events that were organized last year. So it's everything from a roundtable with a government authority to awards and conclaves to, we launched the mobility committee last year with Joel and with His Excellency and the former consul in Chennai. So these are really interesting platforms. And of course, this would not be possible without the support of all of the chairpersons and vice chairpersons. So I'd like to thank all of them. You can see all of their photos here. Secondly, we also organize a lot of advocacy. Over the past years, IFCCI has been very active in engaging with the government authorities in India and in France. On a yearly basis, we organize about 10 roundtable meetings with the authorities, and usually we get together our French companies, we propose recommendations, we work with knowledge partners. Invest India is a very important partner for IFCCI, and I know they're listening in today, so thank you very much. And of course, this is something that we would like to continue to do and focus more on, especially with the current context where we feel a number of our companies require that support. Business support services is a very important department at IFCCI. It's essentially all of the support we provide to French companies in India and to Indian companies in the French market. As of 2020, IFCCI is a reference partner of Business France. I'd like to mention that Business France has welcomed a new director for India and South Asia, Mr. Eric Payal, and IFCCI is very pleased to have this strong partnership with Business France. So last year, we supported a number of companies, and this involves, of course, a wide array of services from helping a company set up in India to creating their legal entity, to hiring their teams, to managing their outsourcing. So it's really a wide range of services which are very important to IFCCI. And I would also like to highlight the business center. We have 4 business centers in India, and we host a number of companies in our premises. And this year we've made a huge effort in terms of communicating about the fact that we have reopened fully sanitized offices. So it's a very safe environment. And of course, it's very important for us to respect all of the protocols and hygiene protocols in place. And please do know that, we have opened our offices to our clients. If you are looking for space, please do contact our teams. Apart from that, last year we organized a very large event for Hcl Technologies. HCL, as we know, is a large IT conglomerate, and they were celebrating their 10-year anniversary in France. So we put together a digital forum organized at the Ritz Hotel in Paris, which went off very well. And we also welcomed a French delegation to India. So these are a few highlights. Moving on, our HR and Recruitment Services Department was launched at the Chamber about 8 years ago, and it's really been growing ever since. Last year, we received about close to 700 CVs, and these CVs are both French nationals, Indian alumni, so, young graduates coming back from doing their studies in France. We also received about 110 job offers and completed 70 placements. So I'd like to congratulate Sapna and her team for the fantastic work. In terms of new initiatives, we've been building on our activities and services. So we've also launched full-fledged HR advisory and operations. We've launched training, relocation services, and of course, we work with a wide range of partners for this. So if you're looking at hiring in India, please know that you can count on IFCCI as your partner. In terms of communication, I'm sure all of you follow us on social media and you receive our publications, but it's really something that we've been focusing on a lot over the past couple of years. Ishita Jain is within our team, and of course, we have a full team dedicated to communications, but we've been focusing more on knowledge publications and magazine, and of course digital media as well. So this is something which is very important for the Chamber as well. We are also very active with the media. Every time we are organizing an important event or interaction, or even if there's a important news that's coming out, we try to send out a press release and get publicized in the media. I think it's very important to talk about all the great and strong relationship that India and France share. So I also wanted to end my presentation by giving you a few highlights of what's been going on since April, because this presentation was essentially for the last financial year. But I would like to mention that, the IFCCI team has adapted well to the new working context, and we've all been working from home. And now, of course, our offices have been gradually opening up. We've organized close to 60 webinars, as I had mentioned earlier, during this time. We also wanted to focus more on CSR and of course highlight all the great work and contributions of our member companies. So we had released a report and a video which was shared by the Embassy of France during the 14th July celebrations. And I'd like to thank His Excellency, because I know that he's also been really encouraging us to work more on CSR and to understand all the great work that's going on by our member companies. In fact, on that note, on the 29th of October, we will be organizing the next edition of the CSR Conclave and Awards. So do look out for that event. We also conducted some business surveys related to COVID-19 to understand what our companies are feeling about this pandemic and how is it really impacting their business. We also launched the IFCCI Business Leaders Delegation, bringing together 75 CEOs of our member companies in India. So we organized 3 meetings region-wise for the North, South, and the West. So this is a great platform, again, to be a part of during this current context. We also formed new leadership for our sector and functional committees. We've already organized about 7 advocacy sessions. And of course, we've also launched new training services. So lastly, I'm very pleased that we will be launching 2 initiatives today at our AGM. The first one being the online membership directory. We're very pleased to announce that we are finally going online with our members directory. So all our members need to do is log into our website. We will be sending in a tutorial to all of our members shortly, but do look out for that, because I think it's going to be much easier than carrying our, the book version of the membership directory. So this is a big change and a big news that we wanted to, announce today. And of course, we will be releasing the activity report for the year 1920, and a mail will be going out after the AGM. And last but not least, thank you very much to our partners and sponsors. I'd like to personally thank the French team in India, or Team France as we call it. So the Embassy of France in India, which is headed by His Excellency Mr. Emmanuel Lena, Business France, AFD, the French Foreign Trade Advisors, which is the CCEF, and of course, all of our partners in France. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening in, and thank you for your patience.